That Mother Nature, she's having some bad PMS this year. One hour, guys. It rained 1.5 inches. And there'll be more coming today. And then we're supposed to get a 1-day break, and then it's supposed to be again. This is the way it's been going. But now we're finna continue on with our part 2 of our gardening. Part 1, we covered the northwest side. Part 2, we're gonna cover the northeast side and maybe the south. But we're gonna start right down the fence row here, and there's the pot of the onion chives. Just like the garlic chives, they've been in that pot going on year after year. Well, maybe not at that exact pot. I dug them up and put them in that pot later. But I'm just letting them go to seed. And then we had what I had left of all my strawberries I planted. And I got them all mixed up now, and I don't know what varieties which. You can see in this pot ain't doing very good. 2 of them struggling to even make it. I don't expect them to make it. Now yesterday I just picked a quart bag of strawberries off of these, and that ain't no good. I got one back there I left. Looks like I got some random carrots coming up in here. But these doing all right, but these strawberries don't make it. I will not try strawberries again. These here is the prettiest strawberries I got, and the sweetest tasting ones. There's one right there. I'm gonna go on and pull it and eat it now. And I had to where I know what variety it was when I planted all these. But then after the other ones started dying out of my other beds, then I started filling in spots in these beds. And now I don't know what variety this was. But it's the prettiest one, and it's the best tasting one. You can see there's 2 there that ain't doing nothing. And they all ought to be lush like the one we just looked at. Them ain't doing nothing. I need to get the grass and the carrots out there. Now, this is the 4th year going on with our Washington asparagus. We did eat some of it this year. There's another pot of thyme. It's been going on for a long time. I just this spring give that one a haircut down. There's some cornflowers. Them was planted last year, and them come back on their own this year. And see how pretty stuff is that come up on its own? Stuff that come up on its own looks so much better than everything else. Then I got a bed here that I just got all kinds of stuff. I've been pulling radishes out there. There's some more in there needs to come out. Then I got some random flowers coming up in there. Got some random corn coming up in there. Random carrots coming up in there. So y'all can see I let things I'm just doing whatever this year. Down here got random flowers, and then I threw some corn seed out there. Scattered it around. And it's actually coming up. Then we got some kind of other, I can't remember what these flowers are supposed to be. Y'all might can tell me. I'm not a flower person. I know that's a zinnia right there. I don't know what them are. But all that stuff come back from already being planted, along with the clover and the grass. Then we got our muscadines. As always, the muscadines is the last thing to start leafing out for the year, even behind the pecan trees. And last year, y'all remember how loaded they was, but I had 2 strands. Well, this winter, when I cut them back, I cut them all the way back and done away with the bottom. I'm just going to have the top strand. The top strand will be way more than I ever need. And it was just too jumbled up having the top and bottom strand. Made it a whole lot longer for me to clean up in the winter. Now over here you can see the zucchini squash. Y'all see how hard that rain just came? Them there was, I'm talking about standing up pretty. All that. So I got 3 to that. I'd actually started 6 first and they looked so bad I pulled 3 up and started new 3 seeds about 2 weeks ago. And that way I could have some zucchini, you know, a little later some coming on here. That's how hard that 1.5 inch rain just came. And you see the wind whooped them over. It's been doing this 2 or 3 times a week this whole year. The next bed right here had some green egg squash. Yeah, rain, wind, beat them down, didn't it? It ain't broke them off though, so they'll stand back up. It'll give us another day break, but we're gonna have some more coming after a while before dark. We still in the morning. It ain't but 10 o'clock right now. Then we got some more just yellow squash. Yeah, it didn't whoop it down as bad. Y'all see I got a little baby yellow squash right there. Load that one around. There's actually 4 of them in this bed. Oh, no, there's actually 5 plants in that bed. That bed's going to be overtaken with squash. And then right here we got some, them were actually onions I planted this spring. If I remember right, that's the Texas Granos or either the Vidalia variety. But like I said, I just plant onions because we want little green onions. We just pull the smallest ones and cook with them anyway. It don't matter what variety onions they are. And we're going to turn around, and there's the bed of prism kale. Been going on for 2 years. Y'all see one, it done 2 of them I just cut off. They done broke off. Done died over and broke off. And it's funny how that kale will do that. It'll like prune itself and die. And if you leave this will keep on growing. But to me, it don't look as good as when you replant. But I'm going to just leave that because we're about kale'd out. And I'm going to just let it go to seed. Maybe some of that seed will fall in there and it'll self-plant itself for next year. Right here to my right's another one of them beds. I got the amazing sweet corn and some variety of bean planted in it. And look what it just did to my G90 corn. Now this is the bed of corn I actually planted to get sweet corn. But look at it, guys. That's what just happened. Y'all got through watching part 1 video 2 days ago. I continued right on with part 2 on my recording. Yeah, will that stand back up? I don't know. It's awfully bent over, so that stuff is up here getting about 3.5 foot tall. And that is what we've been dealing with. I mean, over and over and over. Now this right here, y'all might can help me with. Colton wanted to raise a pumpkin. So they had got a pumpkins or some pumpkins from the pumpkin patch last Halloween. Well, I saved some seeds out of it. Well, of course, I done put them in there. And one day he was here and we just planted some seeds straight in this dirt. Now, I ain't never raised pumpkins. But I was thinking a pumpkin vine's supposed to be more like a watermelon vine. Then I got concerned, is this some type of squash? Yeah, I done got the seeds messed up in. Because of how all the blooms in it actually don't look like it's trying. I guess it's trying to make a runner. It looked like all the blooms and stuff right here at the base. And I don't know if a pumpkin done that or not. So what I did, a couple of days ago, we went and got I picked up some pumpkin seeds. Let me straighten this up a little bit. I went and got some pumpkin seeds, and we've planted another seed there and another seed over here. If they start coming up, and I determine them's not pumpkins for some reason, but man, look at the leaves on them. They gotta be a pumpkin. They may be them little bitty pumpkins. I don't know. I don't know nothing about no pumpkins. But anyway, that was his pumpkin bed. Now Papaw was confused and don't even know if it's really pumpkins or not. So we got 2 more seeds planted, and then I planted a couple more on the south garden. Turning back around over here, that's another one of them beds I done with just corn and beans. I think that actually got black-eyed peas. But one of the things I am going to have a crop on this year that I didn't get none last year because of a late freeze is the blueberries. Now one of them, if I ain't mistaken, this one may be the Tiff Blue and one of them's a Jewel, if I remember right. But they're both got loaded down with blueberries, and I'm excited because I will be making some more blueberry jelly. Been around here, and I ain't worrying about that back fence. That's just oddball tomatoes I had left over. Oh no, except for that one over there. That's a lemon cucumber. I planted them last year, or year before last. They round, look kind of yellowy like a lemon, but they tasted like a cucumber. So I just threw a couple of them back here, and over there some of them tomato plants that was growing up in the wild out here. I just dug up a couple and stuck in there. And these 2 tomato plants over here. Actually, that was an extra purple boy. And I think that one down there, yeah, I see the tag. That's my honey delight. And that's about how that big that honey delight was that I was telling y'all on part 1 that drowned it. That's a honey delight. And it was looking just like that. So at least I'm going to have some back here. But these don't ever do as good back here. But then my bed right here is what I call my carrots gone wild. I planted it in carrots in the fall. What was left in the winter got killed from the hard freeze. I threw some more seeds in there. And then when they started getting of age to pull, I actually looked in the freezer and we still had 2-gallon bags of carrots that I already had cut up and flash freezed. So I just let them go wild and gonna go to seeds. And the wind knocked them down pretty good just a little bit ago. That Mother Nature, she's having some bad PMS this year. That bed right there is another one I just planted in corn. That's where that Catarina cabbage was. So I pulled out the 3 or 4 that might try to make it over there I showed on part 1. It's on this barrel right here. I planted some little ground cherries. And this is my bed of confetti peppers or carnival peppers. And guys, y'all remember me talking on part 1 about the lettuce seed? I just come out here one day and just to get rid of it. And I put some in that little blue box over there and it's coming up. And then I just sprinkled the outside edge of this bed where these peppers are. And look at it. Some of it germinated, some of it didn't. And that was new seed. That ain't old seed or new to me. I had ordered it early, or I don't know if you'd call that late winter. First of the year, like January or something. So whatever they sent me wasn't worth nothing. There's some more random onions. I think that may be the bright Vidalia variety there. That's one of the spots I'd tried starting growing lettuce 2 or 3 times. This year I just stuck a zinnia in the little grill. And that was actually spinach I just pulled out yesterday. I ain't planted nothing back there yet. My garlic, you can see it's all going and making buds and seeds. That ain't doing that no good. That means it's going to stop bubbling down there in the ground. And I may not pick none of it this year. I may just let it go and go to seed and drop more seed. Like I said, it seems like when something comes back on its own the next year, it actually does better. I don't know why it's going to seed. That's the thing that's still shocking to me about a lot of this stuff. I know I just tried to get it started early, which that was over winter there. But we ain't had that many hot days. And we just now getting into where the nights is in the 60s. But everything's like trying to go to seed so early. And the hydroponic bucket right here, that's another one of them little Italian ices. It's got little tomatoes on it, but this is just a hydroponic bucket, homemade one, no water circuit, no bubbler in it. And I know people said my algae grown up on here on my last video because this bucket ain't black. I know light creates algae, but it also, the bubbler helps keeping it from creating as much algae, even though the hydroponic bucket's over is black. That's got a white lid on it. I need to paint the lid, but the bucket's kind of been painted gray. It's just peeling off. So anyway, I done that. It's just something to do. I'm always doing something weird, crazy stuff that most people say won't work. They done tried. I just like trying. But yeah, I have to walk back over and see if that wind blowed any of my hydroponic buckets over. I don't see no strings broke over. On the outside, going into the south garden, I call it, this here is my valerian root. I planted 2 or 3 years ago. It come back on its own this year. And then I had this pot, didn't have nothing in it, so I put one of the extra jalapeno peppers in it. And I bought a raspberry bush and stuck in that spot. So actually I tried to start my own Freedom Art blackberries off of my 2 that I have over there in these 2 spots. Well, that one took and this one didn't. So this year I just bought a raspberry bush and stuck there. Then I had these 3 pots, didn't have nothing in it. And that there's got another cayenne long red. And that pepper right there, I can't really remember what red pepper that was. And that actually ain't got nothing in it. I put something in it that didn't make it. I can't remember. Oh, it looks like it was one of the Hasinator bells. I see it on my tape. But it didn't make it. It either didn't make it or one of the other ones over there didn't make it. And I dug this one back up and moved it over yonder. But I throw something in there just to grow up. Moving on over here. Trying something else I ain't never grown before. Spaghetti squash. And I made me a little trellis here, trying to train them to go up there. Look like I got one vine down there I need to start training. The other ones, once I got them started, they kind of been going on. And we got random leftover tomatoes down through here. Some of the later tomato plants I started for backups and didn't need them, so I didn't even tag them. I just stuck them here. We got a black beauty eggplant, some kind of little pepper. That was supposed to be a white star eggplant that was left over. Well, you see it, how terrible it looks. I'm surprised it survived. I think that little tomato is one that was growing wild in the yard I dug up. Don't know what it is. And don't know what's coming up down through there, guys. That's something I don't even know. Been so long ago, I don't even know what I planted right there. Probably just a bean or something I'm wanting to fill these holes. I just wanted something growing in every hole. Now the rest of that out there is cantaloupes. They're sugar cube cantaloupes. It's got sugar baby watermelons. What was the? We got that white variety watermelon. And I got my ones I call Smith County watermelons. That come from Smith County, Mississippi 2 years ago. Saved seeds. The watermelons done good last year, so I planted, I think, 6 of them. Then we got some Orangelo, it'll be orange inside, watermelons. I can't remember what the name of that white watermelon was at the time right now. You over something? So they had finally started growing watermelons. They was like the peppers, they done sat here for weeks, ain't doing nothing. And then my potatoes. Looked like the wind done some good damage to them too, didn't it? Y'all see why my gardening has been so depressing? When you get 1 or 2 days and everything's standing up looking good, and then 3rd day or 4th day, here it comes again. Like I said, that's 1.5 inches this morning. That ain't all. There's more coming. As far as the potatoes there, in case you didn't see some of my first videos, them right there is Purple Majesties. The 2nd row is Red Lesotho. The 3rd row is Yukon Gold, and the outside row is Kennebec. And they have been doing good. Matter of fact, that's about the only thing I was proud of in my garden. But it broke them down just then. Actually, the wind got up hard enough just then, guys. I went and got in the truck. I thought I was going to have to take an escape route. And down on the end is another one that's supposed to be a pumpkin that I'm not sure about. So I planted another seed that I know is pumpkin seed, so I went and bought them on each side of it. So it's just the 1st of May, so it's still early enough to grow a pumpkin from seed. Actually, early enough to be planting everything here. And them 2 pots right there is elderberries. I actually had them 3 years ago planted out back. Never could get them going. They just barely hang on, barely hang on. So I dug them up and put them in them pots, and then last year they took off. So I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I don't know if I got to cut them down and plant them out somewhere one day, or just every year cut them back and keep them small, growing in pots. Well, guys, it looked like about the only damage here in the northwest side is the parsley got whooped around and beat down. That's one thing that scares me about doing this trellising, is how much wind we may get out of a hurricane from South Louisiana if they have a hurricane this year again. We had that one year, and I even had some cages, them round cages. Tomatoes was growing out the top of them up there, up into the summer, and they had that hurricane, and them winds come up here and blowed my cages, tomatoes, and all down. That's why I started driving T-post even when I put them in them round cages. But guys, as y'all can see, it's starting to rain again. So that's going to end the garden update for the May. And y'all might get another one for the end of May on the tomatoes, unless I'm probably going to do a video for then on my upgraded fertilizer injector and how I mix my fertilizer and what I'm doing. But as much rain as we've been getting, I ain't been getting to do much of nothing. Sure ain't been doing no spraying. I don't see the point of spraying one day knowing it's gonna rain the next. Cause when we get rains, it ain't little showers like it's doing right now. And it's thundering back over that way again, so it's gonna be another little turd floater here in a minute. But guys, I hope y'all having a better start this year in 2024 for your gardening. Hope you getting a better start than me. Some people will see that and say that looks good, but that to me that don't look good. That ain't. We'll get some tomatoes. I know we'll get some tomatoes and stuff, but that don't look good to me and I don't like it. But as always, hope y'all have a great day and a blessed week. God bless. See y'all next time.